The Nikkor Z 2470mm f/2.8s is the most reliable workhorse I've found for both travel and studio work, but let me explain why. I've been testing it on everything from bustling city streets to a quiet home office, and it consistently delivers sharp, consistent images without the fuss of fiddling with exposure settings. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and I'll walk you through the reasons it might be the right lens for your kit. First off, the constant f/2.8 aperture means you can keep your settings steady as you zoom from wide-angle to short telephoto. Imagine you're shooting a wedding reception and you need to capture both the entire ballroom and close-up details of the cake without changing your exposure. With this lens you just turn the focal length knob and the light stays the same, so you avoid those annoying shifts in brightness that can ruin a moment. The result is smoother video and cleaner stills, especially in mixed lighting. Another practical benefit is the compact size. Even though it covers the popular 2470mm range, the barrel is noticeably shorter than many older full-frame zooms. That makes it much easier to fit into a backpack when you're hiking a national park or hopping on a train for a weekend shoot. I've taken it on a week-long road trip and it never felt like an unnecessary weight, yet it still packs the professional performance I need. The lens's all-new multi-focusing system, with 2 floating elements, keeps performance sharp from the nearest focus distance all the way out to infinity. I put it to the test shooting a child playing with a kite, moving from a few feet away to a distant horizon in a single take. The focus stayed accurate, and the image stayed crisp, which saves a lot of time in post-production when you're trying to pull together a dynamic story. Nikon's stepping motor, STM, is another feature that matters in real-world shooting. The motor is both fast and whisper-quiet, which is a blessing when you're filming video that includes dialogue. I recorded a short interview in a coffee shop, and the lens never introduced any humming noise, so the audio stayed clean. The quick response also means you can lock focus on a subject and then slide the zoom without hunting, ideal for events where the action is moving fast. Sealing the lens against dust and moisture is more than just a marketing point, it's a daily convenience. When I shot a rainy street festival, the lens stayed dry inside my camera body, and I didn't have to wipe off any droplets after the shoot. The same thing happened when I was filming a desert sunrise. The fine sand didn't get inside to cause haze or scratches. That build quality translates into less maintenance and longer life for the gear. The optical design also brings practical advantages. The 3 aspherical elements and 2 extra low dispersion elements work together to suppress chromatic aberration and flare. When I captured a sunrise over the ocean, the highlights stayed smooth without the typical purple fringe you sometimes see at the edges of the frame. This lets you keep the image straight out of the camera, reducing the need for heavy correction in editing software. Battery life can be a hidden factor, especially for video creators. Because the lens uses the STM and has smooth electronics, it draws only modest power from the camera body. On a full-day shoot I didn't need to swap out batteries, which means you can keep shooting longer without worrying about a sudden power drop. Now, a quick pros and cons rundown based on my experience. On the plus side, the consistent f/2.8 aperture gives you reliable exposure across the zoom range, and the compact build makes it travel-friendly without sacrificing image quality. The STM motor really shines for video, keeping the sound quiet while still being responsive. As for downsides, the price point is certainly higher than a typical consumer zoom, so it's a bigger investment if you're just starting out. Also, the minimum focusing distance isn't the closest you'll find in a macro lens, so you'll need a dedicated macro if you plan to do extreme close-ups. All in all, the Nikkor Z 2470mm f/2.8s feels like a lens that adapts to the way I work, whether that's sprinting through crowded markets or setting up a controlled studio light. It gives you the flexibility to handle most shooting scenarios without having to carry a whole suite of prime lenses. If you value consistent performance, a quiet focus motor, and a build that can handle the elements, it's worth considering for your next gear upgrade. Thanks for hanging out and listening to my thoughts on this lens. If you're interested, remember the link is below, and have a great day shooting.